Thanks, Congress. They did it once after Franklin Roosevelt, a Democrat, won 4 terms, a Republican Congress in 1947 put the 22nd Amendment on the table. States of both parties ratified it. 2 terms for a president, period. So let me be the first to say it. Congratulations, Congress. You figured out that no one person should sit on the throne forever. Now explain this to me like I'm a grown American and not one of your idiots. If 2 terms is good enough for the President of the United States, why is it not good enough for you? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Unless the gander writes the rules. I'm Anthony, and this is The Angry Americans. We love this country, but we despise the double standards. So let's go. Hit like, hit subscribe, share. I'm not doing this for the algorithm. We're doing this so they hear us. In real life, this is called do as I say, not as I do. You lie on your taxes, they audit you into the dirt. They misplace trillions, nobody even gets a memo. You speed through a school zone, ticket, points, insurance. They blow through the same laws and call it the motorcade. You get a DUI, license, lawyer, humiliation, maybe jail. A politician gets a DUI and it's under review. It's a quiet plea, and they're back on the floor Monday, acting like the moral authority of the republic. You lie under oath? Perjury. That's a crime for you. I misremembered. I don't recall. Then they get a book deal. You trade on information from your job? Insider trading. The SEC, they'll eat you alive. They sit on committees. They hear what's coming before we do. And their portfolios look like they had a crystal ball. And then they lecture us about fairness. Listen, that's not a conspiracy theory. That's the culture. The law is for you. The exception is for them. Presidential term limits. That was the last time they put a leash on someone else's power. Congressional term limits? That's a leash on their own power. So they clapped for the first one in 1947, and they've spent 80 years dodging the second. Don't take my word for it. Take the roll call. In 1995, House vote on Congressional Term Limits Amendment, 227 to 204. A majority of the House said yes, but they need 2/3. They failed. 1996, they tried again. 217 to 211. Failed again. Well, if at first you don't succeed, try one more time for appearances. Since then, members drop a bill every Congress so they can send a fundraising email. It dies in committee. In 2023, the House Judiciary Committee voted term limits amendment down 19 to 17. The Supreme Court already told the states in 1995, you cannot term limit Congress by yourselves. U.S. Term Limits v. Thornton. The only door left? Article 5. So Congress knows the country wants this. Poll after poll, 80 to 87% of Americans, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, Libertarians, Tea Parties, Americans, and they still won't do it. Because they're the gander, and the gander doesn't cook themselves. The founders, they weren't stupid. They knew Congress might refuse to limit itself. Article 5 gives 2 ways to propose an amendment. 1, 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate. That's the door they keep locked. 2. 2/3 of state legislatures apply for a convention to propose an amendment. Then 3/4 of the states ratify. Congress doesn't get a veto on the idea. They are not the sovereign. We are. We, the people, through the states. That's not chaos. That's the Constitutional's backup generator. U.S. term limits is running a single subject application for congressional term limits, not a grab bag convention. One subject. 14 states have passed their specific application, but we need 34. Every state can be a part of that. This is how regular people, HVAC techs, nurses, truck drivers, small business owners, that's how we become part of something great for America. Not a party, not a personality. A rule that applies to the ruling class the same way the 22nd applies to the president. Citizen legislators, serve and then go home. Live under the laws that you passed. That's the founders' model. That's the opposite of permanent class that writes exceptions for itself. Me, I'm in Nevada, District 7, Northeast Las Vegas. And I'm running in 2028. Not to become one of them. To force the conversation onto the floor and push an Article 5 application from this state. If you're anywhere in America, look up your state representative and state senator. State. Not just Congress, state. That's where Article 5 lives. Ask them, in writing, will you support a single subject application for congressional term limits? Yes or no? Follow U.S. term limits. Use their tools. Don't wait for cable news to explain it. They won't. They don't understand it themselves. Share this video with one person. There's one person who thinks, well, they'll fix it for themselves. Like, subscribe, and share. If this channel only preaches to the choir, they win by default. Send it to a neighbor who's tired of the double standard and doesn't have a vocabulary for it yet. Because now they do. Goose and gander. They limit the president, but they will not limit themselves. It's not leadership. That's a caste system with better lighting. We're not asking for revenge. We're asking for the same rule. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. If they won't write it, the states will. Stay angry, stay precise, and stay in the fight. I'll see you on the next one. Now, go do something about it.